got a good topic here for the people. I want to tell you something, man. Lonzo Ball, man, his absence has clearly seen this team take a step back defensively. It's evident, it's clearly, there's no debating. I do believe that it's a situation where these guys can do something to stop this bleeding, but it is what it is. Right now, the Chicago Bulls are currently 30 and 18 right now. They're doing the best they can to get themselves situated. They took a horrible loss last night to the San Antonio Spurs. Yeah, it's no shame in that. The San Antonio Spurs, they're a great young team. They're not even a great young team. They got a great young future. I could see them being a threat later on down the line, but right now is completely unacceptable that you lose like that. You had DeJounte Murray. I'm telling you, you would have thought he was the next coming of Steve Nash. The way things was looking out there. We about to get into everything, man. But before we do that, I need everybody to hit that like button and most definitely hit that subscribe button. You already know what it is. It's Flight Sports TV. I appreciate everybody is checking with me, man. This is some stuff that I'm clearly seeing, man. I want to see the Chicago Bulls take a upgrade defensively. Since Lonzo's been out, you had Kobe White, Io DeSumo, even some of the superstars and Levines of the world, the DeRozans. They're trying to do the best they can to do something. I'm not saying that they done fell completely to the wayside. The Bulls are still in that hunt for a top seed in the East, and I like what I'm seeing. I'm just seeing defensively is clearly taking a step back, like I said, and you tell me if it hasn't. I got a couple of games here. You lose. You got on. They played the Oklahoma City Thunder as a recent. I'm telling you, Shea Gilders Alexander, he put up 31 plus. You know, I'm telling you, there was no reason why that game ended up. They almost came back and beat the Chicago Bulls on the road. Now the Oklahoma City Thunder, that's unacceptable. This team is clearly years back in their stage of their development. They're nowhere near in that situation of contention. You are the Chicago Bulls. Whether Lonzo is there or not, you should be able to take care of business against the Oklahoma City Thunder and really stick it to them. You know, they didn't really stick it to them. That would have been a horrible loss that they took to those guys. You know, I like I said, it was the Celtics. You know, they took a tough one to the Celtics, and mind you, the Celtics that's not the same Celtic team of old. You know, I'm just saying they did take a loss. Mind you, when the last game Lonzo was present was the Golden State Warriors. The Golden State Warriors definitely put the candle to the Chicago Bulls when Lonzo was there. But I'm trying to tell you, this is a complete different situation. The Golden State Warriors, that's the number one seed out west. That's one of the best teams in the league. You got a Hall of Famer and Steph Curry, the whole nine. You understand? So it's a different ball game when you discussing the Golden State and when we discussing the OKC, San Antonio, the Boston Celtics, and the Orlando Magic. Like I said, the Orlando Magic, these guys lost to Orlando by 19 points on the road. I don't give a damn if it's on the road, at home, or in Mars, or on the corner of the street. You understand? You're supposed to take care of business against the Orlando Magic. You don't get your ass handed to you like that. That was completely despicable. You know, I'm trying to tell you, Lonzo Ball, his absence has completely wrecked the versatility of this team defensively because Lonzo Ball, he can go from 1 through 5 different positions. You understand? Lonzo Ball is not a guy who could just sit up there. I'm telling you, Shea Gilders out, he slows Shea Gilders down to that 31, and those guys don't even come close to closing that gap to possibly beating the Chicago Bulls that game. I'm telling you, they was basically handing them their ass all game. The Bulls was handing the Thunder their ass, and the Thunder almost snuck out of there with a squeezy win on them. And it was because these guys cannot take care of business defensively. They allowed too many chippies, too much shit to go on down the closing stretch of the game. You know, Lonzo Ball with a conjunction of Alex Caruso, because Caruso is another one, a factor too as well, who's been affecting this defense. You know, they're going to need these guys that they make that playoff run. I'm here to tell you, ladies and gentlemen, the month of February is going to be extremely tough. The intensity of the schedule is going to completely ramp up on the Chicago Bulls. You know, they got the Bucks. They got I seen a whole lot of teams on this schedule for February. The Hawks is a couple of teams where it ain't going to be no walk in the park. You understand? So they're going to have to bring it. I don't see Lonzo returning until I would say either early to mid March. You understand, depending on how the rehab go. I haven't heard anything as of right now in terms of any setbacks or any. Everything seems to be going right on track. For that, we already about a week and a half in to that 6 to 8 week situation. So, like I said, Lonzo should be back here sooner than you think. Shout out Larry Bird. He said Derrick Jones Jr. is out. Three guys, Pat. Well, no, that's a major key in conjunction to Lonzo. But mind you, Patrick Williams been out for a minute. Derrick Jones Jr. He come on. Lonzo Ball is a major piece on this team. I like Jones Jr. as well. But we talking about the starting point guard of this team. Lonzo Ball is definitely anchoring this team defensively. And as you see, Vucevic right now doing the best he can. You need a guy at the point of the attack like Lonzo Ball who really prioritized defense this season. You're going to need that. That's all I'm going to say. You can't have all these other guys, especially when your team is kind of overly exposed, could be potentially overly exposed. You can't put Vooch out there and just throw him out there just to dry. That's all I'm gonna tell you. Vooch is being left for dead out there. You need a guy like Lonzo to slow shit down so the other team is not bringing it to Vooch so fast. You understand where he can't really depict him. I'm telling you, come playoff time, this is gonna be a question for the Chicago Bulls, and I think this is something that a lot of Bulls fans are not really pinpointing. Vucevic, like I said, he's doing the best he can, but let's be real, Vooch could be easily exposed defensively. I'm expecting come postseason time to a lot of teams to put this man in pick and roll situations, like right at one after another, after another, after another, after another. Not in a situation where, oh no, they hold him all for nothing. No, they're gonna keep putting the candle to this guy every single time the opportunity they can. Vucevic is like chopped liver out there defensively. Look at some of these guards. You look at a Kyle Lowry. Kyle Lowry is gonna just salivate to put this guy in a pick and roll situation. You look at some of these other teams potentially that the Chicago Bulls could be facing in that second, third, or first seeding. You got to look at these teams. You got the Charlotte Hornets. You got the Washington Wizards. These teams down bottom, and the playing teams as well. The Knicks, the Hawks. Some of these teams. I'm telling you, these teams right here, they are going to put pressure on the Chicago Bulls. So they're gonna have to bring it. These point guards. You got a guy like, let's say, LaMelo Ball, for instance. LaMelo Ball is gonna have a field day, putting Vucevic in pick and roll situations. Kemba Walker, I know y'all laugh and joke on him. Come on, now he gonna violate this man. And Kemba Walker went up to Charlotte early this season, and I think he put on a barrage up there. Up there in Charlotte. So I'm just saying, let's pump the brake. I mean, up there in Chicago, so let's pump the brakes. Derrick Rose coming off the bench, just wreaking havoc on this team defensively. I'm just saying, you need Lonzo Ball and a Caruso, all of these guys. I'm not just singling out Lonzo. You need AC. You need all of these guys defensively. But the Bulls are so superior offensively with the talent that they have at their disposal in the Zach LaVines of the world, my man DeMar DeRozan. They're just so talented. They're able to completely push over the hump of this whole situation. They're able to okay, if these guys are down and out, they can't come back in the games. If they can't get any stops, pardon me, you got guys like Zach LaVine and DeMar DeRozan to close the deal and seal it for you. So they kind of up their intensity offensively, and it hides what the hell just happened defensively. So you'll be happy with that. You'll be happy with that game against Oklahoma City, winning by 1 point, but you're not realizing why the hell did we lose by 1 point. This is supposed to be a championship basketball team. Yes, the Bulls are not a team. Mind you, you got guys on here like DeRozan. They don't got a whole lot of time to waste. I understand Zach, Lonzo, a couple of these other guys, they can fool around, in this stint. But this moment that the Bulls are in right now, I'm telling you, it's paramount that they seize this opportunity, because you don't know what next year is going to bring. You don't know what's going to happen. You understand? You don't know what teams are going to retool. You don't know who's gonna make moves. You don't know, So I'm just saying, nobody's seen this team being in. Where the hell were the Bulls last season? Look where they at now. That's going to be the same situation a season from now, where you're going to have guys just going all over the place, teams just getting just better. You understand? So it's going to be paramount for the Bulls to seize this opportunity, man. Otherwise, all hell could break loose in Chicago. And like I said, they just won't be able to capitalize on this moment that they're in. The Bulls are doing their thing, man. They got to take over. They got to seize this opportunity, man. Because it don't come around. Shout out Theo. He said Vucevic in the post 2-on-1 every night. Bulls have no power forward. Look, man, they are killing. Shout out Jessica. I see Jessica. Happy Saturday, Jessica. Shout out to everybody that's in New Orleans. Shout out to everybody that's in that city and all that. You already know it's Flight Sports. Right now, we here discussing the Chicago Bulls right now defensively. These guys are playing like horse shit as of recent late. I'm very disgusted. I'm talking horse shit defensively. You understand? It could be better. They just clearly took a step back. You understand? Now I pose the question. When Lonzo gets back, how soon does the defense take shape? Because you're going to have guys returning around the same time frame. AC, Alonzo, they all should be coming back. A P. Will. I don't think people understand. That's going to be that injection of life that this team is lacking right now defensively. They need an injection of life defensively. Do you understand? And it's going to happen. You understand? So y'all just hold on. It's Flight Sports. Lonzo going to come back and make all the difference like he's always done. And I'm just keeping it on the defensive end. I'm not bringing up any other things that Lonzo brings to the game, or that he could help this basketball team. But I'm just saying, I just see this team in some tight games against some subpar competition. Yes, it's the NBA. Everybody's a great player. But you shouldn't lose to the Spurs. Like I said, you done moved the Spurs up to that 11th spot. They're not even in the playoff picture out west. It's tough, and like I said, these point guards are just carving up the Chicago Bulls, as a recent, it's gonna be interesting to see how they close this season out. You got an all-star DeMar DeRozan. It's time to really take it to that next level. DeRozan has always put up points. This season is like a no anomaly. DeRozan is doing his thing, but who's shocked to see DeMar DeRozan cooking up? Who the hell is seriously shocked? DeMar DeRozan has to come out there and really do something in the playoffs. You understand? That's the question for DeMar DeRozan. It's not about can you tear up the regular season like he's doing right now. I'm not even sipping the Kool-Aid or amazed at what I'm seeing from DeMar. I want DeMar to do what he's doing in the playoffs, because it always seems to be that he comes up a little bit small when it's money time. But when it's not money time, he gonna come up like Michael Jordan. Pause. You understand? I don't mean it like that. Y'all get my drift. This guy definitely goes all out for subpar competition. So it's gonna be interesting to see. The Chicago Bulls, man, they got to get it together defensively. And it's a matter of time. The Bulls, that's a great team. Like I said, shout out Theo, shout out Jessica, shout out Larry the Bird. So how soon does Lonzo Ball fix the defense on this roster? That's the question I pose for the people. Let's politic this in the chat. Let's politic this in the comments section. Am I right or wrong? And my man Billy Donovan got to step up too. Billy Donovan is not off the hook on this. Billy been doing his thing, all season. I think what happened was, I really think that the Bulls really could have capitalized on this season. I think it's still a potential to get there. They could still get that number 1 seed. And like I said, I think that my man Billy Donovan could have potentially been in the Coach of the Year running as well, and I think it's still there for him, where the Bulls could get some accolades individually as well. Like I said, you're going to have 2 All-Stars. You arguably could have had 3 or 4, if guys didn't get injured and the Heat would have continued to stay on leading into the All-Star break. But the Bulls have clearly lost some sizzle. Let's just be real here. I'm just being honest. The Bulls have lost a little bit of sizzle, man. They're not that feared team like that, even though they should be, but they're not. It's like, it seemed like they lost a little bit, but they can regain it. That's all I'm gonna tell you. Whatever sizzle they lost, they could grab that shit back and grab it by the horn and take off with it. I firmly, trustly believe that. Shout out Sky. But I just want to let y'all know the Bulls have clearly took a step back defensively. You can't fucking sugarcoat it. I just brought up the next couple of games right now. I want to give you the next 6 games for the Chicago Bulls. They got Portland, Orlando, the Toronto Raptors, the Indiana Pacers, the Philadelphia 76ers, and the Phoenix Suns. So how do you see these teams faring? Because like I said, defensively, okay, they got Portland. There's no Dame. But Anthony Simons, I'm not sure if y'all familiar with that young man. Anthony Simons is really doing his thing as of recent late. He put up a nice numbers yesterday. He's really coming into his own. I was discussing this yesterday with the panel. Anthony Simons is a guy who I believe is ready to be the starting point guard in the NBA and take over and be that pretty much the not the second coming of Dame, but definitely his successor. You understand that whatever he truly becomes from there, he needs to get thrusted in that starting role to see his capabilities. So I'm gonna let you know right now that's not a shoe in for the Chicago Bulls. Portland, even with no Dame, CJ is no slouch. They have talent. Orlando, they got the Orlando Magic. We all know Jalen Suggs. These guys, what they did to him. Orlando, you would think that the mighty Bulls, they should just slay these guys. Slay Orlando. I don't see that taking place. I see this game being a nail biter against the Orlando Magic. The Toronto Raptors, the, I don't know. You know what I'm going to say? I'm going to give them this game. I could say them taking the Raptors out handily, easy. The Pacers, on the other hand, I don't know. Indiana is a tricky team. They don't know when you want to bring it. They're so inconsistent. I don't know. I'm gonna put a question mark there with the Indiana Pacers. You got the Philadelphia 76ers. Now this team, when they were red hot at the regular season, they couldn't beat the Philadelphia 76ers. They lost 2 games back to back, home and away. So I'm gonna be really all eyes on against this Philadelphia 76ers game. I'm really interested to see how this game takes place and takes shape. It's gonna be interesting. I see the Phoenix Suns right now. The Phoenix Suns are world beaters right now. They're doing that thing. I'm gonna give a loss right now to the Chicago Bulls with Phoenix. It could be a tough one, but I'm gonna give Phoenix that game due to them just looking like they just like hell bent on getting back to the finals, even though I don't see that necessarily taking shape or happening. I don't. So that's gonna be a tall tale sign, y'all. Let me know. Wait. These are the next 6 opponents. You understand? The Bulls are 30-18. They're currently the second seed in the in the Eastern Conference. But this thing is flip flopping and fluctuating like hotcakes. So we don't really know how the Bulls are gonna finish and fare when it's all said and done. But nonetheless, man, we're gonna get into it, man. Uh, Shout out to everybody that's in the chat. Shout out Uncle Vern. Shout out Rave Kingdom in the building too. Rave, I see you in the building. He said Bulls are hurting with Lonzo being out, and that's just a pure unadulterated fact. That's not sitting here bullshitting. That's not sitting here just running our goddamn mouths. These guys need this man. You understand? Point blank, period. In order for the Chicago Bulls to reach their end goal, which I believe is getting to the finals, which I think could happen. I truly believe Lonzo Ball could be starting in the goddamn NBA Finals this season. And I'm telling you, don't nobody want that more than Flight Sports TV. I'm telling you right now. So I think it could happen. But they need to switch some things up on how they're orchestrating this goddamn team. Last night, I did notice something good, despite the loss. The Bulls did commit to the pass last night. It seemed like they tried to go slightly away from the isolation game, even though it was ISO plays. I like that though. I did see increased ball movement. Now, if Lonzo Ball comes back and this team is playing with increased ball movement, I'm expecting Lonzo Ball to take off offensively. Lonzo Ball is going to thrive when the ball is moving. You understand? Because it's equal opportunity. When you got a situation where you're just giving it off, dumping it to Zach, dumping it to fucking Vooch, giving it to Levine, letting them just do whatever the fuck they want, inevitable it's going to be a goddamn disaster. And oftentimes it has been a disaster, So it's going to be interesting to see. Where do you see the goddamn Chicago Bulls faring within these next 6 games? Like I said, currently they're 30-18. They could easily go up and push it up into that first seed, or they could fall completely to the wayside. I don't know. I'm just posing a goddamn question, But shout out Uncle Vern. He says Orlando easy win, Toronto easy win. Orlando, I mean, listen, ain't nothing easy with Orlando. I think we sleeping on Orlando. I ain't gonna sleep on Orlando. That's what I ain't gonna do. You ain't gonna never see me sleep on Orlando. But it's wild. Let me know your thoughts, man. If I'm let's politic this in the chat. Let me see what Rabe talking to Sky. He says Bulls still good, but I don't know why y'all talking. You said if Zoe is gone, this team doesn't change. Zoe being gone, Bulls trash on defense and can't win. Yeah, the Bulls definitely trash on defense. You understand? Right now, I mean, they just not. They lost some sizzle. I ain't gonna say trash. I think trash is a little harsh. Like I said, I'm gonna be consistent. They lost some sizzle. You understand? They just not the Bulls team that I seen in the beginning of the season. It seemed like I don't know if they hit a wall, if the injuries, and even prior to the injuries, it seemed like with Lonzo presently on the roster, it seemed like they was hitting like a wall, like they like almost like they need to take a break or something. They've been overworked. You know, that's what it seemed like. You know, so I mean, it's wild. You know, this team needs an All-Star break. So All-Star break, I think this team could benefit from an All-Star break and going into a strong playoff run. You know, I see the Bulls finishing the season off strong and being very dangerous because I see this team coming into whole as the season ends. I'm telling you, when Lonzo gets back and Alex Caruso gets back and you get Patrick Williams, that completely complements this roster because you got your defense, you got some anchors defensively, and it kind of hides some of the deficiencies that you see in some of these other guys. You know, DeRozan, I always looked at DeRozan as a decent defender. You know, even though some people look at him as a liability, I don't. You know, so it's wild. I'm just gonna leave it at that, man. The Lonzo Ball is desperately needed in Chicago, and it's only a matter of time before he comes and fixes things. And like I said, just stay tuned. It's Flight Sports TV. I appreciate y'all for checking with me, man. Everybody hit that like button. Y'all already know what it is. Shout out to all the family. I love y'all. Y'all know what it is, man. You know we going up later. Just stay tuned. Start hitting the bell on the icon too. It's Flight Sports TV. We appreciate